Let me tell you about a heart-touching story that happened at our local animal shelter last winter. You know how they say cats have 9 lives? Well, this one particular cat named Shadow made me believe in miracles. I remember the day clearly. It was snowing heavily and one of our volunteers found this tiny black cat huddled against our shelter's back door. His fur was matted, he was skinnier than any cat I'd ever seen, and his eyes, those eyes held so much sadness it could break your heart. What really got to me was how he wouldn't eat or drink for days. We tried everything, the finest cat food, warm milk, even tuna. But Shadow just sat there staring at the wall. The vet checked him out and said physically he was okay aside from being undernourished. But emotionally, that was a different story. You see, we later discovered that Shadow had belonged to an elderly woman who had passed away. The neighbors told us he had waited by her window for weeks after she was gone, refusing to leave. When her house was finally sold, Shadow had nowhere to go. But here's where the story takes a turn. There was this little girl, Emma, who would visit our shelter every weekend with her mom. She had lost her dad the year before, and something about Shadow's sadness resonated with her. She would sit quietly next to his cage, sometimes reading books out loud, sometimes just being there. Slowly but surely, something magical started happening. Shadow began to respond. First, it was just a slight turn of his head when Emma spoke. Then he started moving closer to the front of his cage when she visited. One day, to everyone's amazement, he actually purred when she reached in to pet him. The transformation was incredible. Shadow started eating regularly, playing with toys, and even meowing for attention. It was like watching a flower bloom in slow motion. And yes, you can probably guess where this is heading. Emma's mom eventually adopted Shadow. Today, Shadow is unrecognizable from that sad little cat we found in the snow. He's plump, playful, and absolutely adores Emma. They say sometimes the most broken souls heal each other. And watching Shadow and Emma together, I couldn't agree more. It just goes to show that even in our darkest moments, there's always hope. Sometimes it comes in the form of a little girl with a big heart. And sometimes it comes in the form of a sad cat who just needed someone to understand his pain.